try to leave as much of that behind with you, with the trash bins and the dumpsters on the way out of town. Now, what are the 5 things you need to take with you? Okay, and I thought about these 5 things for a long time, and some of these are kind of personal. So the first one is I would take duct tape. I am from Northeast Missouri. Duct tape fixes everything. I fixed car mufflers with duct tape. I fixed face masks for a CPAP machine with duct tape. And believe it or not, if you take a roll of duct tape with you, you will be amazed at the things you can fix, and you will even be able to temporarily patch together your broken heart. The first time you lose a patient, the first time you realize you should have done something differently. And that duct tape will hold you together when nothing else can. Because sometimes you don't need to be fixed permanently right away. You just need to be held together long enough until you can get past whatever crisis is going on the floors or in your life or in your personal life when you come home. And just remember, a big roll of duct tape. Make sure you go by Dollar General and get a big roll of duct tape. The next one is, you never leave your house without your keys, right? Although I have occasionally been locked out of my house. But keys are important to me. My late grandfather ran a route of jukeboxes and pinball machines and video games in North Missouri. He never made more than $20,000 in a year. And he had a roll of keys that opened every machine he owned. And it was like opening the universe for me. You open up those boxes and sometimes there's a bunch of money in them, and sometimes you open up and there's nothing. But he had keys for everything. And I used to think my grandpa could open everything. Well, what are your keys? What are the keys in your life that can open all of the doors of the universe? Before you leave town, I want you to think about what those keys are, and make sure before you leave town that you bring them with you. And then the other one, which is probably the one, if I actually say anything I know about, it's probably this one. It's your sense of humor, my sense of humor. The worst things can happen in your life, and even sometimes your sense of humor may be on the edge of inappropriate at times. But what you'll find is that this will be another one of those things, along with the duct tape, that when you have nothing else to do, you can make a smart remark or a flip remark or a funny remark, and all of a sudden it's not so bad. My grandmother used to say, you got 2 choices. You can either laugh about it or cry about it. And over the years, I learned it's a heck of a lot easier to laugh about them than cry about them. Then the other one is to realize that things grow in unlikely places. This is a picture. A friend of mine actually sent me this when I was really down the dumps, a short spell. And it was a flower that was growing out of a gravel driveway. And of course, every time everybody backed in and out, that flower was at risk of just totally getting smashed. But yet, over the course of a few days, this thing not only grew, but bloomed. And for this beautiful flower to come out of a gravel driveway is in itself a miracle. And you're going to find on the floors that your greatest growth is going to happen in places you never expected it to happen. It's going to come in a moment of realization in a stairwell when you're walking from the patient floor to the ICU. It's going to come after a long night on call, and you walk out of the hospital, and just the wind on your face as you walk to the parking lot is going to feel like it's made of gold. It's amazing. It's amazing how wonderful things come that grow in you that come from unlikely places. And then the last one, I couldn't resist this one, is that I hope you take with you somewhere in the corners of your heart a tiny bit of 63501. And your class has been given an opportunity to this unlike any class ever did. I mean, all second-year students, as they're heading out the door, they say a few really choice things like, I'm really glad to get out of this town. I'm never coming back here again. And then the ultimate one, they'll never see a dime of my money when I graduate from this place. But, you know what? Something happened that you got something that had not happened in this town for 110 years. And it's called a tornado. And you saw people pitch in and do things for each other. And if you lived here as long as I do, you know the players, and you know some of them most days may not even give each other the time of day, but yet they pitched in and helped each other when everybody needed it. And that is what is so magic about this town. It and all its strange people, myself included, can reach in themselves and give without even thinking. So, as you're headed out the door, maybe you are kind of liking seeing the Kirksville city limit sign in your rearview mirror, but when you get away for a while, you might find you kind of miss it. And so with that, I threw this one in. As you're getting ready to leave in these last few days or hours for some of you, there's got to be one place for you that's kind of a sacred spot for you here. Now, I have a lot of sacred spots, but this is one of my favorite ones because it's a place north and east of here where the Des Moines River meets the Mississippi River. And, I can just sit there and watch the logs go down the river and all that, and it's a real comforting place for me. But somewhere I know each of you has a place around here that you actually did stop and take pause, and in a way it's a sacred spot. So before you leave, before you really pack up for the last time, go to that spot one last time and see if you can't feel the flow. See if you can't feel the flow of the wind or the water or whatever it is that is going to carry you to this next phase of your life. I really appreciate this. Thanks a lot.